Hello everybody, thank you for viewing this video. So this video is made for the purpose of presenting the CS50 final project. And since I have only 3 minutes, I will keep this video short and only serve to introduce the project. For the details, I provided a README file on the left, and on the right side is the actual website for the project itself. So let's get started. The building of this website, I have used HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and also GitHub to store the codes and for hosting purposes. So for design wise, I have heavily relied on some bootstrap examples as provided in the link here. And this is how the website is being navigated. There are some hyperlinks here where if I click, it will make reference to the Harvard CS50 website so that visitors can check on the requirement. Computing exercises and interesting tidbits will refer to the sample projects, and the About Me page will have some particulars on my personal profile. The first sample project showcase is actually a data analytic project study for investment case discussion. So there is a button here to navigate to the sample project, and I have used a web viewer to embed this PowerPoint presentation, and this button will enable the user to navigate back to the sample project page. So in this presentation, I use the following tools: Tableau Public, Excel, PowerPoint, and as mentioned, web viewer. Excel is mainly used to extract the data out, and PowerPoint is used for the presentation. And Tableau is mainly used to produce visualization and to mark annotation and describe key events, which I have used as screenshots to present directly in the presentation itself. And expand this window to have a bigger window, which we can click on full screen to have a better viewing experience. So this is how the project's slides look like. So in these project slides, there are some clickable links, such as this Tableau public work, which I have done some inflation studies to tell a story on the effects of inflation, which is relevant to the project itself, and marked with annotation and possible explanation and notable events. Within this presentation slide, there's also an interactive dashboard here, which explores the price of the cryptocurrency Ethereum, and also some research news, which I have marked and annotate respectively. Here are some clickable buttons which can show and hide the key events here. Care is also taken to have appropriate spacing and also design choices taken to make it more presentable. And this is the first project showcase. To the sample projects page, the rest of the 3 computing exercises: music box, digital clock, night and day. So these 3 projects are actually some sample codes I found from the Coders project for Raspberry Pi. So I have actually reviewed these sample projects to have a glimpse of what features are available and try to adapt the implementation to this website. Music boxes is actually rather simple, and the notable technical features are the audio tags that are used to embed the audio files in the website. So let's take a look at it. Demonstration. You can see here that the audio text here will handle the sound, retrieve the sound, the audio file inside the directory hosted, and a container is created which is styled through CSS codes to give these various colors and a different effect when you hover over the box and when you click on it. JavaScript will handle the logic behind where when you hover and click on it, it will retrieve the file from the site directory, and it will also play the music. Digital clock demonstration. It uses common tools for web development as similar to previous projects such as HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It fetches the date and time from the local system and return it and display in the form of hours, minutes, seconds, and whether it's AM or PM. Digital clock code explanation. I've right-clicked and inspected on this website and zoom into the JavaScript here. When the HTML document is ready, it will execute this function defined as below. And this function is named as display time. As previously mentioned, it will get the date variable from the local system, then it will get the respective hours, minutes, and seconds from the date obtained. Then it will run through various logic to decide whether is it AM or PM to be displayed. And if the hours variable is 0, it will display a 12. As we are displaying on a 12 hours format instead of a 24 hours format, if it's more than 12, it will conduct some logic to deduct the number of hours by 12. But if it's less than 12, then it will remain as its initial variable. If the hours variable is less than 10, it will add a 0 in front of it for visual purposes, such as, for example, 9 will become 09. The same principle applies to the minutes and seconds. This is some JavaScript command to get the element from the HTML itself via ID clock. So it will then display the text of this clock object and fill it with hours, colon, minutes, colon, seconds, and some spacing and the AM or PM defined above. After defining this function, this script will then run the function display time. This line of code will refresh and update display time in an interval of 1000 milliseconds, which is actually every second. In simple terms, it means that this code will be updated every second. Night and day mode demonstration. This is actually to toggle either a day mode or a dark mode. That's it. You can see that when this button is actually pictured to be a sun, is toggled, it will turn into a moon, and the day will turn into night. You can see the changing classes toggled between the orb ID and the moonspot ID, which is this 1, 2, and 3. And these classes are changing due to the JavaScript logic that is coded. Similar to the previous the digital clock, when it's ready to be loaded, you will run the function defined as follows, so that when this orb is being clicked, it will turn there's some if else logic over here. If the orb has a class sun, it will remove the sun and replace it with the moon. If it has the moon, it will remove the class moon and replace it with the sun. Similar logic runs for the sky object, where you replace with day and night respectively, and as well as the moon spot, which is a toggle between the class visible and removing the class visible. All these characteristics of these classes are stored in the respective CSS code itself. During this project implementation, I actually had run into some trouble with the sky object, and I realized that this is due to when I run the basic bootstrap core CSS and the bundle. It already comes in with a white background, which override the background color of the sky object somehow, and hence the background will just remain white even when I toggle it. So in order to overcome this technical challenge, I actually programmed the background to change from this color to this color upon toggle, and hence solve this technical challenge. We have reached the end of the CS50 final project presentation. Thank you for staying with me. I have overrun the targeted 3 minutes because I have taken some time to explain some of the project codes in details to demonstrate the understanding in applying HTML, CSS, and JavaScript under the model view controller framework introduced in CS50. So that's that. This is my profile, and if you are interested, feel free to drop a message and say hi in LinkedIn, and I guess that's goodbye.